गणेशाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गणेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गणेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि ज्ञानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्ताय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदैवताय गुरुकुलस्थायिने गुरुविक्रमाय गुणितप्रवराय गुरवे गुणगुरवे गुरुदैत्यबलक्षेत्रे गुरुधर्मसदाराध्याय गुरुपुत्रपरित्रात्रे गुरुवाखण्डखण्डकाय गौरीप्रणयाय गौरीप्रवणाय गौरभावाय धीमहि गोसहस्राय गोवर्धनाय गोपलोकाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गणेशाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गणेशाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
Valiant efforts of Indians. The Rising Phoenix is a befitting title to pay homage to the valiant efforts of Indians.
India, a country with rich culture and abundant resources, live a happy and peaceful life.
On a regular day in the Indian heartland, men and women carry out their work. Children play blissfully. They were living a contented life until the Britishers established their rule.
भले कितने लंबे गुजरते हो थक न तेरा निकल हो आजा रे सुन ले पुकारे नगरिया रहना ही रस्ते तरसते हो तू आजा रे इस धरती का है राजा तू ये बात जान ले तू कठिनाई से टकरा जा नहीं हार मान ले तू मितवा सुन मितवा तुझको क्या चले है ये धरती अपनी है अपना नंबर है ओ मितवा सुन मितवा तुझको क्या चले है धरती अपनी है अपना नंबर है वादा है
Indian public, including women and children, were looked down upon and were treated disrespectfully. The British thought Indian culture and their ways of life were uncivilized and hence considered themselves superior. As a result of this, they discriminated and mistreated them and denied them their basic rights.
The what are slaves now?
These Indians have become laughing stock.
My lord,
Let's celebrate our success.
Nay, she is not down. Why? This is a disrespect to my majesty.
The phoenix was burning in the hottest flames, which ignited the fervor and zeal. This was the beginning of its rebirth for independence, where it would no longer be suppressed.
No, I won't be shackled anymore. I will fight for our freedom.
One voice inspired many others. People belonging to different walks of life united for this common dream of free India. What followed was a war of words and weapons for several decades. Many lives were lost, but the spirit was undying, and the phoenix lit so high in the clouds. Independence was achieved. It's been 7 decades since we have achieved independence. The country has made several advancements in science, technology, and other sectors, being one of the fastest growing economies.
The Britishers, in the name of reforms, introduced and forced the education system, encouraged elite system, systematically fractured Indian traditions and customs.
बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, टूटिए हजारों सांस ये मेरी है आरज़ू, हैप्पी बर्थडे टू यू।
Teenagers are asked to touch their grandfather's feet to seek blessings, but he refuses to do so and gets carried away by his friends.
What is your family making you do? Touching feet in aarti on birthdays is so old-fashioned. We'll show you what real birthday fun is. Come on, let's try this wild dance trend.
You're not running the rock.
People notice that Indians are influenced by the Western culture very lately. This change slowly creeping into our society and in our daily lives.
अरे क्या हुआ? मैं तो थक गई हूँ। ये जीवन जीतेगी ना परिवार का साथ ना सच्चे मित्र। ये क्या जीवन है? पर तुमने ही तो इस जीवन को चुना था। मैंने नहीं। जब से मेरा जन्म हुआ तब से मैंने इसी सभ्यता संस्कृति को देखा है। क्या कुछ इससे अलग है हमारा भारत?
चलो तुम्हें दिखाती हूँ कैसा है हमारा भारत।
भारत की संस्कृति निराली, संस्कारों की भूमि है ये। सभ्य घर बाला में हो, सदाचारी घर बालक हो। वेद पुराणों में जो बतलाया, करते आचरण यहाँ से प्रेम स्नेह मान मर्यादा को जीवन में अपनाते सभी। नाम है ईश्वर गुरु भगवान, करते हैं सभी इनका गुणगान। त्योहारों को मनाते मिलजुल कर, भारत की संस्कृति महान।
देखा तुमने कैसा है हमारा भारत? लेकिन अभी भी देर नहीं हुई है। तुम चाहो तो आधुनिकता को अपनाकर भी देश की तरक्की में अपना सहयोग दे सकती हो।
सही कहा आपने। मैं देश की तरक्की में सहयोग दूँ और देश में जो बुराइयां हैं उनको समाप्त करने में पूरी कोशिश करूँ।
देखा आपने, संस्कारों से जुड़कर हमने आधुनिकता को है अपनाया। इसी गुणों के कारण हमने आज आत्मनिर्भर बनकर विश्व में अपना उच्च स्थान बनाया। धन्यवाद।
Being cemented to our culture, we also appreciate other languages which makes us global citizens. The children express their message of hope, dreams and love in their eyes for the future, in the form of arts and drawings on the wall. They ask for love to blossom among the people and a beautiful day for a baby is sleeping bird. Presented the song in French, on écrit sur les murs, which means we write on the walls.
but in rising in every time we fall.
सुनो सुनो ग्रामवासियों, आज शाम 5 बजे नुक्कड़ का आयोजन होने वाला है। आओ नुक्कड़ को देखो। आओ 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 नाटक देखो। आओ आओ नाटक देखो। चाचा चाची, काका काकी, आओ आओ नुक्कड़ देखो।
Nukkad Natak is different from traditional theatrical plays. It is not played on stage and is usually not composed by a single author, but rather takes up themes arising from context. As India is celebrating its 75th year of independence as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we have taken nationalism as the topic of our Nukkad Natak. Nationalism introduced the idea that each nation has a specific territory and that beyond this point, the claims of other nations apply. Today we are going to present before you some unglorified warriors of India. Here we go, the Queen of Malwa, Ahalya Bai Holkar.
Ahalya Bai Holkar was born in a village named Chandi, which is now in J&K, Ahmednagar district of Maharashtra. Maharani Ahalya Bai Holkar was the Maratha queen of the Malwa kingdom of India. She always used to protect her kingdom from Muslim attacks. Throughout India, she built many temples and dharmshalas. The renovation of the Kashi Vishwanath temple was also done by the great Ahalya Bai. Geologically, the Malwa kingdom generally refers to the volcanic origin. The Malwa region had been a separate political unit from what of the ancient times. At present, the Malwa kingdom region includes western Madhya Pradesh and parts of southeastern Rajasthan.
अहिल्या बाई होलकर का जन्म चांडी नामक गांव में हुआ था, जो आजकल महाराष्ट्र के अहमदनगर जिले में पड़ता है। महारानी अहिल्याबाई होलकर मालवा साम्राज्य की मराठा होलकर महारानी थी। वह सदैव ही अपने साम्राज्य को मुस्लिम आक्रमणकारियों से रक्षा करने की कोशिश करती रही। पूरे भारत में उन्होंने सैकड़ों मंदिरों और धर्मशालाओं का निर्माण किया और यहाँ तक कि काशी विश्वनाथ मंदिर का पुनर्निर्माण भी कराया।
మహారాణి అహల్యాబాయి హోల్కర్ మరాఠాలు పరిపాలించిన మాల్వా సామ్రాజ్యపు హోల్కర్ వంశరాణి. ఆమె తన పరిపాలన కాలంలో హిందూ మత కార్యకలాపాలు, ధార్మిక కార్యక్రమాలు నిర్వహించి పేరు పొందారు.
Now we present the South Indian warrior Alluri Sitaramarazu. భారత స్వాతంత్ర్య చరిత్రలో అల్లూరి సీతారామరాజు ఒక మహోజ్వల శక్తి. ఇతడు జరిపిన సాయుధ పోరాటం స్వతంత్ర ఉద్యమంలో ఒక ప్రత్యేక అధ్యాయం. సాయుధ పోరాటం ద్వారానే స్వతంత్రం వస్తుంది నమ్మి దాని కోరికే తన ప్రాణాలు అర్పించిన వీరుడు. Alluri Sitaramarazu is a great force in the history of Indian independence, and his armed struggle is one of the freedom movements. He believed that independence would only come through armed struggle and sacrifice his life for it. Telangana is situated in the central stretch of the eastern seaboard of the Indian peninsula. Telangana is bordered by Maharashtra, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. It is also drained by the two major rivers, Krishna and Godavari.
Now we are going to speak about the unglorified warrior Kitturu Rani Chennamma from Karnataka.
Kittur Rani Chennamma was the queen of Kittur, which lies in present-day Karnataka. She led an armed resistance against the British East India Company in defiance of the doctrine of lapse in an attempt to regain control over her dominion. As one of the first and few female rulers to have led rebel forces against British colonization, she continues to be remembered as a folk hero throughout Karnataka.
కిత్తూరు రాణి చెన్నమ్మ బ్రిటిష్ ఈస్ట్ ఇండియా కంపెనీ పాలన కాలంలో కన్నడ దేశానికి చెందిన కిత్తూరు అనే చిన్న రాజ్యంకి రాణి. తన రాజ్యం కోసం బ్రిటిష్ కంపెనీతో పోరాటం చేసిన మొదటి భారతీయ వనిత.
कित्तूर रानी चेन्नम्मा कर्नाटक के कित्तूर राज्य की रानी थी।
उन्होंने हरद नीति के विरुद्ध अंग्रेजों से सख्त संघर्ष किया था। संघर्ष में वे वीर गति प्राप्त हुई। भारत में उन्होंने भारत की स्वतंत्रता के लिए संघर्ष करने वाले सबसे पहले शासकों में उनका नाम लिया जाता है। रानी चेन्नम्मा के साहस एवं उनके वीरता के कारण देश के विभिन्न हिस्सों, खासकर कर्नाटक में उन्हें विशेष सम्मान हासिल है और उनका नाम आदर के साथ लिया जाता है।
Physiographically, Karnataka is divided into 4 distinct regions: the coastal plain, the hill ranges, that is the Western Ghats, the black soil tract in northeast, and the Karnataka plateau in the east.
Now we present the ruler of a regional kingdom, Veerapandi Kattapomman. వీరపాండి కట్టబొమ్మన్ 18వ శతాబ్దానికి చెందిన సమరయోధుడు. ఇతడు పాలెగారులలో ఒకడు. బ్రిటిష్ ఈస్ట్ ఇండియా కంపెనీ సార్వభౌమాధికారాన్ని కాదని వారికి విరుద్ధంగా తిరుగుబాటు చేశాడు.
Veerapandi Kattabomman was a Tamil feudal lord of Panchalakurchi.
Panchalakurchi is a small historical village in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is known for its rich culture and tradition in literature, music, art and dance like Bharatanatyam.
Veerapandi Kattabomman refused to accept the sovereignty of the British East India Company and waged a war against them. Now we're going to speak about Birsa Munda. बिरसा मुंडा एक युवा स्वतंत्रता सेनानी और आदिवासी नेता थे जिनकी सक्रियता की भावना को भारत में ब्रिटिश शासन के खिलाफ एक मजबूत विरोध के रूप में याद किया जाता है। Birsa Munda was an Indian tribal freedom fighter and folk hero who belonged to the Munda tribe. He spearheaded a tribal millenarian movement that arose in the Bengal Presidency during the British Raj in the late 19th century. This made him an important figure in the history of the Indian freedom movement. A state in eastern India is diverse of high mountain peaks in the Himalayas in the northern extremes to where the Himalayas are in the north and the sea is in the south, with both plains and plateaus covering the remaining region. The incident which shook the entire country and brought all the Indians together to fight against the British. शहादत का ये दिन 13 अप्रैल को हुआ था। इस दिन जलियांवाला बाग हत्याकांड हुआ था। हर भारतीय के लिए जलियांवाला बाग हत्याकांड बेहद दर्दनाक घटना है जिसमें खून की नदियां बह गई, कुआं भारतीयों के लाशों से पट गए और मौत का यह नजर हर किसी की रूह को चोटिल कर गया।
The Jallianwala Bagh massacre, also known as the Amritsar massacre, was a massacre that happened in 1990. On April 13, 1919, the British Indian Army soldiers started shooting at an unarmed crowd of men, women and children. The shooting lasted about 10 minutes. According to the British Raj sources, many people were killed.
Shoot! Shoot!
ये देखो, ये क्या हो गया? ये किसने किया?
ये इन दुष्ट अंग्रेजों ने किया है।
वंदे मातरम! वंदे मातरम! वंदे मातरम!
In today's fast-moving world and tough competitive day-to-day life, the youth hardly find time for the remembrance of their rich heritage and past. The section on unglorified warriors is an attempt to recall and remember them. The aim is to serve as a medium of inspiration and encouragement for the coming generations. Their ethos and principles ought to be recalled and respected. Nationalism cannot be exhibited. It is something that has to come from within. Nationalism is an emotion. I would like to thank all of the social studies teachers on the behalf of my friends for inculcating in us these nationalist values and emotions. बोलो भारत माता की जय! धन्यवाद।
తల్లి వారి అన్నారు రాయుడు. ఈనాడు మనకు స్వేచ్ఛావాయువు అనుభవించగలుగుతున్నాము. అది ఎందరో త్యాగంగా సమర్పణ కలిగితే మనకు స్వాతంత్రం వచ్చి 75 సంవత్సరాలు పూర్తిగా వస్తున్న నేపథ్యంలో ఆ త్యాగమూర్తుల త్యాగాన్ని స్మరించుకోవడానికి చేసిన ఒక చిన్న ప్రయత్నమే ఈ అభిప్రాయం.
భూమి ఆదేశం నమో నమామి అన్యభూమి ఆదేశం సదా స్మరామి పుణ్యభూమి ఆదేశం నమో నమామి అన్యభూమి ఆదేశం సదా స్మరామి అన్న ఆదేశం నమో నమామి అన్నపూర్ణ ఆదేశం సదా స్మరామి మహామహుల కన్న తల్లిన దేశము మహోజ్వలిత చలిత కన్న భాగ్యోదయ దేశం ఆదేశం పుణ్యభూమి ఆదేశం నమో నమామి అన్యభూమి ఆదేశం సదా భజవెత్తిన ప్రజాపతి మతోన్మాద శక్తులు చులకత్తులు చడిపిస్తే మానవతుల మాంగళ్యం మడుట కలుపుతుంటే ఆ క్షుద్ర రాజకీయానికి ముఖ్యమేతుడై లేచి మాతృభూమి దుడిపై నెట్టుకి తిలకం దిద్దిన మహావీరుడు పుణ్యభూమి ఆదేశం నమో నమామి అన్యభూమి ఆదేశం సదా స్మరామి నన్ను కన్ననాదేశం నమో నమామి అన్నపూర్ణనాదేశం సదా స్మరామి అదిగదిగో అదిగదిగో ఆకాశం కళ్ళున తెల్లారి వస్తున్నాడో మన అంతి వెలుగు అల్లూరి ఎవరు రామతజారిని కంఠమడిగిన తుచ్చుడు ఎవడా పొగరు పట్టిన చల్లదొరగాడెవ్వడు అన్నామన్నెందర అల్లూరిని చుట్టుముట్టి మంది మార్పల పెట్టి మనకు రంగులెక్కు పెట్టి వంద పుళ్ళు ఒక్కసారి పేర్చితే వందే మాతరం వందే మాతరం వందే మాతరం అన్నది ఆకాశం అఖండ భరత జాతి కన్న మతో శివాజీ సాయుధ సంగ్రామమే న్యాయమని స్వతంత్ర భారతావని మన స్వర్గమని ప్రతి మనిషి ఒక సైనికుడై ప్రాణార్పణ చెయ్యాలని హిందూ ఫౌజు జైకుందని చడిగాడు గగన శిఖర గగసి కలుమరుగైపోయాడు జోహార్ జోహార్ సుభాష్ చంద్ర బోస్ గాంధీజీ కలలు కన్న స్వరాజ్యం సాధించే సమరంలో అమర జ్యోతినై వెలిగే శుభదారుల కన్నది దేశము చరితార్థుల కన్నది నా భారతదేశం ఆదేశం పుణ్యభూమి ఆదేశం నమో నమామి అన్యభూమి ఆదేశం సదా స్మరామి అన్మనాదేశం నమో నమామి అన్నపూర్ణనాదేశం సదా స్మరామి.
ఇప్పుడు ప్రతి భారతీయుని గుండెల్లో దేశభక్తిని ఉప్పొంగేలా చేసి దేశ గౌరవాన్ని ఐకమత్యాన్ని ప్రబోధించే ఒక పాటని చూద్దామా? నానని నానా నానని నానా దేశం మనదే తేజం మనదే దేశం మనదే తేజం మనదే ఎగురుతున్న జెండా మనదే నీతి మనదే జాతి మనదే ప్రజల అండదండ మనదే అందాల బంధం ఉంది ఈ నేలలో ఆత్మీయ రాగం ఉంది ఈ గాలిలో ఏ కులమైనా ఏ మతమైనా ఏ కులమైనా ఏ మతమైనా భరత మాతకు ఒకటే లేరా దేశం మనదే తేజం మనదే ఎగురుతున్న జెండా మనదే నీతి మనదే జాతి మనదే ప్రజల అండదండ మనదే అందాల బంధం ఉంది ఈ నేలలో ఆత్మీయ రాగం ఉంది ఈ గాలిలో ఏ కులమైనా ఏ మతమైనా భరత మాతకు ఒకటే లేరా రాజులు అయినా పేదలు అయినా భరత మాత సుతులే లేరా ఎన్ని దేశాలున్నా మాకెన్ని దోషాలున్నా దేశమంటే ప్రాణమిస్తా అంతా ఈవేనా వందే మాతరం అందామందరం వందే మాతరం అందామందరం వందే మాతరం వందే మాతరం వందే మాతరం వందే మాతరం. జై హింద్.
लहरों की औकात नहीं जो रोक सके मतवालों को।
राम सुधा दे सागर को उस भारत के लाल बहनों।
वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, मैं जहाँ रहूँ जहाँ मैं याद रहे तू।
तुमने तेवर ही कहाँ देखे अपनी वतन के दीवानों का।
यहाँ वहाँ सारा जहाँ देख लिया है, कहीं भी तेरे जैसा कोई नहीं है। 80 नहीं 100 दिन दुनिया घुमा है, नहीं कहीं तेरे जैसा कोई नहीं। मैं गया जहाँ भी बस तेरी याद थी, जो मेरे साथ थी मुझको तड़पाती रुलाती। सबसे प्यारी तेरी सूरत प्यार है बसेरा प्यार ही। माँ तुझे सलाम, माँ तुझे सलाम, माँ तुझे सलाम, माँ तुझे सलाम। वंदे मातरम, 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 वंदे मातरम।
आइए आइए, आप सभी का यहाँ स्वागत है।
मैं आपको भारतीय संस्कृति और सभ्यता से परिचित करती हूँ। तो आइए देखें हमारी सभ्यता और संस्कृति का जीता जागता उदाहरण।
हमारी युवा पीढ़ी भारतीय सभ्यता से उखड़ सी गई है। ऐसे में इन्हें परिवर्तन की लौ जगाकर अपनी जड़ों से परिचित कराना जरूरी है और त्योहारों से बढ़कर और कोई माध्यम नहीं। आइए आपको हमारे त्योहारों से परिचित कराते हैं। पहला है संक्रांति।
संक्रांति की शुभकामनाएं। तो चक्षु आप हमारे मेहमानों को बताएंगे कि दक्षिणी भारत में संक्रांति को किस तरह से मनाया जाता है।
ఈ రోజు మన ఇంట్లో ఉన్న పాత సామాన్లు బయట పెట్టి మంట వేస్తారు. ఆ మంట మీద కూడా పెట్టి కుండలో కొంచెం కొన్ని పాలు కొంచెం చక్కెర వేసి పొంగిస్తారు. ఆ పొంగిన అన్నంతో ఆ పరిమాణాన్ని వడ్డిస్తారు.
कहा जाता है कि कृष्ण को मारने कंस ने लौहिका राक्षसी को भेजा था, लेकिन कृष्ण ने खेल खेल में ही उसे मार डाला, इसलिए लोहड़ी का त्योहार मनाया जाता है।
सुंदर मंदिर हो लीला कौन बेचारा हो, दुल्हनी ही ब्याई हो, शेर शक्कर पाए हो।
अगला है उगादि।
तुम्हें पता है यह कौन सा महीना है?
हाँ, ये अप्रैल का महीना है, साल का चौथा महीना।
नहीं नहीं, हमारे हिंदू कैलेंडर में अप्रैल का महीना पहला महीना होता है और इस चैत्र मास की पक्ष की तिथि को उगादि का पर्व मनाया जाता है।
हाँ, और इसी दिन ब्रह्मा ने इस सृष्टि की रचना की थी और सूर्य पहली बार उदित हुआ था।
और सुनो सुनो, हर घर में तरह तरह के पकवान भी बनाए जाते हैं।
ये तेलुगु में कैसे मनाया जाता है?
ఉగాది తెలుగువారి నూతన సంవత్సరంగా చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. తెలుగువారి మాసములు అనగా నెలలు ఈ ఉగాదితోనే ప్రారంభం అవుతాయి. తీపి, ఉప్పు, కారం, చేదు, వగరు లాంటి షట్ రుచులతో ఉగాది పచ్చడి చేస్తారు. ఇది ఒంటికి పచ్చడి అంటారు. మరాఠీలో ఎలా జరుగుతుంది?
मजबूत करना हमारा कर्तव्य है। आत्मनिर्भरता हमारा नारा है। वोकल फॉर लोकल का उदाहरण। लेकिन एक ऐसा स्थान है जहाँ हम सब एक होते हैं, इस तिरंगे के नीचे। And all the men and women are merely players. Captures the essence of his greatness.
Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare is a romantic comedy with a variety of themes which are expertly interwoven to make it one of his best works. The main theme of The Merchant of Venice is the conflict between love and self-interest. The four narratives are connected by the principles of the Elizabethan society, which include love, generosity, friendship, and smart fiscal management.
The casket trial in Belmont is more intriguing when compared to the two little but very different plans. Though it is charming and fairy tale-like, in contrast to the legal proceedings in Venice. In some ways, the competition for Portia's hand is similar to the social structure and legal system of Venice.
We would now like to introduce the characters of our play: Portia, Nerissa, Bassanio, Prince of Morocco, Prince of Aragon, and the attenders. Now let us begin the play. We would now like to welcome the Prince of Morocco, who, in his anxiety, compensates for the color of his skin and shows himself to be ashamed and insecure. The quotation, "All that glisters is not gold," befits his character, which is shallow.
Dislike me not for my complexion. Bring me the fairest creature northward born, and let us make incision for your love, to prove whose blood is reddest, his or mine.
You must take your chance, or either attempt to choose one at all. If you choose wrong, then never speak to a lady in way of marriage. Go draw aside the curtains and discover the settled castles of this noble prince. One of them contains my picture. If you choose that, then I am yours with that.
Even for that I thank you. Therefore I pray you, take me to the caskets. What says this leaden casket? Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. Hazard for what? For lead? Hazard for lead? This casket threatens. Men who hazard all do it in the hope of fair advantages. What says the silver with a virgin hue? Who chooseth me shall have as much as he deserves. As much as he deserves? Pause there, Morocco, and weigh thy value with an even hand. As much as I deserve. Why does the lady? I do in birth deserve her, and in graces, and in fortunes, and in qualities of breeding. But above all, in love do I deserve. Let us see what's graved in gold. Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. Why does the lady? From the four corners of the earth they come to kiss this shrine, this mortal breathing saint. One of these three contains her heavenly picture. Is it likely that lead contains her? To be a damnation. Or shall I think in silver she's imbued, being 10 times undervalued to try it gold. But here, an angel in a golden bed lies all the thing. Dinner with me the key. Here do I choose and try by as I may. Oh hell, what do we have here? A carrion death with the nose empty eye. There's a written scroll. I'll read the writing. All that glisters is not gold. Often have you heard that told. Many a man his life had sold, but my outside to behold. Glided tombs to wands enfold. Had you been as wise as bold, young and learns, in judgment old. Your answer has not been in school. Fare you well, you so disposed. Cold indeed, and labor lost. Farewell heat, and welcome frost. Portia, adieu, I have too grieved the heart to take a
gentle riddance. Draw the curtains, go. Let all of his complexion choose me, sir.
We would now like to welcome Prince of Arrogance, the second suitor who has shown his arrogance and pride through his choice of caskets and his reaction to choosing the wrong casket. His choice indicates that arrogance represents love, controlled by intellect, not emotion.
Quick, quick, I pray thee, draw the curtain straight. The Prince of Aragon has taken his oath and comes to his election presently.
Behold, there stands the casket. Behold, there stands the casket, noble prince. If you choose that, wherein I am contained, then straight shall our nuptial rites be solemnized. But if you fail, then to leave from hence immediately, without more speech.
I'm enjoined by oath to observe three things. One, to never unfold to anyone which casket of I chose. Next, if I fail on the right casket, to never woo a maid in the way of marriage. And lastly, if I fail in fortune of my choice, to leave you and be gone.
To these injunctions everyone doth swear, for my worthless self.
And so have I addressed me, fortune now to my heart's home. Gold, silver, or base lead. Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. You should have fair where I give I have. What is a golden chest? Come, let me see. Who chooseth me must gain what many men desire. What many men desire, that many may be met. By a full multitude who choose by show. I will not choose what many men desire, because I will not jump with the common spirit and rank thee with the barbarous multitudes. Why then to thee does the treasure house? Tell me once more what title thou art there. Who chooseth me shall have as much as he deserves, and well said too, but who shall go about to cause him fortune, and be honorable without the stamp of men? All these estates, degrees, and offices were not derived corruptly, and a clear honor was purchased with the merit of the wearer. How many be commanded at command? How much more peasantry will be clean in the true seal of honor? Well, but to my choice. Who chooseth me shall have as much as he deserves. I'll assume desert. Give me a key for this, and instantly unlock my fortunes here.
Too long the pause for that which you find there.
What's here?
What's here? A portrait of a blinking idiot, presenting me a schedule. I'll read it. Who chooseth me shall have as much as he deserves. Did I deserve no more than a fool said? Is that my price? Are my deserts no better?
Offend and to judge are different offices and of opposed natures.
What's here? The fire 7 times tried this, 7 times tried that judgment is, that they never choose a miss. There be that shadows kiss, such have but a shadow's kiss. There be fools alive, I wish, silvered over, and so was this. I will ever be your head, so be gone, you are sped. More a fool I shall appear by the time I linger here. Sweet adieu, I'll keep my oath, patiently to bear my road.
Oh, these desperate fools, when they do choose, they have the wit to lose.
The ancient saying is no hiss. Hanging and winding goes by destiny.
Come, draw aside the curtain, Narissa.
Where is my lady?
Here, what with my lord?
Madam, there is Elijah that she gave, a young Venetian, one that comes before to signify the approaching of his bride. He bringing with himself sensible degrees and gifts of rich value. Yet I have not seen such a lively ambassador of love. A day in April never came to his feet.
No more, I pray thee, and have a feet. Come, come, Larissa, for I long to see quick Cupid's pose that comes so manly.
Bassanio, Lord love, with thy will it be.
We would now like to welcome Bassanio, the last of the three suitors, who is portrayed as neither proud nor arrogant. He is significant and by far the most important of the three suitors, because Portia actually displays interest for him.
I pray you, tarry, pause a day or two before you go out and venture for me. When choosing wrong, I lose your company. And something in me tells me if it's not love, I will not lose you. I will detain you here a month or two before you go out and choose. Beshrew your eyes, they've divided me. One half of me is yours, and the other half, no mine is yours, and so all yours. I speak too long, but it's to please the time, to stay you from elections.
Let me choose, for as I am, I live upon the deck. Let me to my fortunes and the caskets.
Away then, I'm locked in one of them. Then and the rest, stand all you lose. With music sound while his dogs make his choice. Then if he loses, he makes his swan like end. Then I should be the stream, and the watcher gets dead for him. He may win, then let music be told. The sweet duckling sound will creep into the bridegroom's ears as they summon him to marriage. Go, Hercules! Live thou I live, with much, much more dismay. I give the fight than thou makest the fray.
So may the outward shows believe themselves. The world is still deceived with ornament. Look on beauty, and you shall see tis purchased by the way, making them lightest that wear most of it. So are those Chris snaky golden locks, which makes such wanton gambles with women. Therefore, thou gaudy gold, I will none of these, nor none of these, the pale and common grudge between man and man, but thou me and the leg. That paleness moves me more than arrogance. And here choose I, joy with the consequence. What find I here? Fair Portia's part of it. What demigod had come from the creation? Moved his eyes, here are severed lips parted with sugar breath. Here in her hands, the painter placed a golden mesh to entrap the hearts of men. But her eyes, how could he see to do them? Look how far the substance of my face that wrong is standing in underpraising. Here's the scroll, the continent and summary of my fortune. You that choose not by view, chance as fair, and choose as true. Since this fortune falls to you, be content and seek no new. If you be well pleased with this, and hold your fortune for your bliss, turn you where your lady is, and claim her with a loving kiss.
You see me, Lord Bassanio, that I stand such as I am. The full sun what is mine is now converted to you and yours. This house, these servants, and the same myself is now all yours. I give them all with this ring, from which when you part, let it be a presage of the ruin of your love, and be my bandage to exclaim on you.
Ma'am, you have bereft me of all words. Only my blood speaks to you in my veins. I do promise. When this ring parts from this finger, then parts life from hence. Oh, then we go to save Bassanio's death.
The three caskets in this name stand for three very diverse outlooks on life. The gold casket represents shallow materialism. The silver casket represents a belief that outward appearances are what really matter. Additionally, the lead casket represents an awareness that what is on the inside is much more valuable than what is on the outside.
We are thus reminded that the princes of Morocco and Aragon were taken in by the outer appearances of the silver and gold caskets. Bassanio is the exporter of these caskets, and his reasons are significant in the total meaning of the book.
Thank you everyone for watching our play. Hope you enjoyed it.